Get off the sidelines and take control of your financial future at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.
Matt Justice here for Tackle Trading to bring you the market recap video for Monday, February 22nd of 2016. Not a whole lot of activity in the market today. Really kind of no economic news. We had no major or mid economic news out there. However, you did have really kind of the market surge today. And if we'll go kind of look at the S&P 500 here, the market did initially surge today based on oil. We had a really big movement into the upside in oil based on a little bit of production, a cut in production, cut of rig counts here in the U.S., a little bit of stabilization in the oil markets in China, really kind of led crude to a really, really good day today. And a lot of talk out there saying, oh, well, we're back. The S&P 500 has double bottomed. We're ready to start going back up. Everything's kind of correlated now. And I'm not there yet. We're still at resistance levels in oil. You're looking at in the S&P 500 itself. You're sitting at resistance levels as well. It doesn't mean I don't personally see a little bit of double bottom here. I mean, when you're looking at the S&P right here, you on a weekly chart, you do have a lower low right here, and as long as you form somewhere underneath 2000 to 1980, you're still going to have some degree of lower high on the S&P 500 as well. So I'm not there yet. However, overhead resistance currently is right between 1950 and 1940. Obviously, a good day for the bulls today with the S&P 500 up about 1.5% on the surge on oil, with the rig count decreasing slightly in the U.S. And once again, little bit news on China stabilizing from an oil perspective as well, figuring out some things out there in China as well, kind of just some of their growth concerns that a lot of people have been having regarding China. Now, in terms of the market today, obviously, most market, when the market goes up, most stocks go up. Let's go ahead and check the sectors and see what sectors really kind of performed really, really, really well. We're going to go to where it says heat maps. So I went to menu and tackle trading. So clicked on the Trade Center, and now we're looking at the heat map here. And as you can see, we're good across the board here. Basic materials really did good with Freeport-McMoRan and Alcoa up 13% respectively. Chevron up 2.6%. You're seeing across the board Marathon up 11%. Chesapeake up 19%. CNX Console up 10%. Not one stock that was down. Devon Energy up 8.8%. And independent oil and gas just absolutely awesome. Check out some of those stocks that were forming retracements, starting to go back up. Oil and gas obviously had a decent day. Oil and gas pipelines had a decent day as well. Really, we only had a couple down days in the market. Perrigo Company, publicly limited company, went down 4%. That's a healthcare drug stock. Honeywell International down 1.96%. Kellogg down 2.2%. Cisco down 4.89%. But outside of that, really kind of a banner day in the marketplace. I don't think there's really much to see here in terms of the market. There wasn't a lot of activity last night coming into the futures. We did get a little bit of negative economic news coming out of Japan last night. Some negative economic news coming out of China last night. But it looks like it had very, very little impact on the actual marketplace itself. Earnings this week, and if we'll kind of pull up FinViz here, I'm going to pull up FinViz very quickly. Let's go to FinViz, and I'll show you guys how to check what earnings dates, what earnings companies are coming out this week. Typically, the easiest way to check when an earnings is coming out, just go to earnings. Let's go to this week in the market right there. This week in the market, let's go to large cap stocks and above. So we have 66 large cap stocks and above reporting earnings this week. things like Apache out of energy sector, Baidu, a big important one out of technology, Anheuser-Busch consumer goods out of the brewery, Salesforce.com, Campbell Soups. As you can see, that's the best way to kind of look at it this week in the market. Let's look at today because we're kind of winding down here with earnings season. Let's go ahead and look at today in the marketplace, kind of what earnings out there. Motorola came in, BHP Billiton. Outside of that, nothing big. Tomorrow, let's go ahead and look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, Bank of Montreal, nothing. Home Depot is kind of going to lead the way this week with Macy's, and that's about it. Norwegian Cruise Line, I believe the Gronk tour is on a Norwegian Cruise Line right now. Outside of that, pretty boring day in the market, guys. Up 1.5. Enjoy the movement to the upside. We are sitting at a resistance level in the S&P 500, right about 1930 to 1940. You also have that downward moving 20-day moving average right there as well. I really kind of put resistance at 1950. I know some people kind of indicated this previous one here at about 1930 with the top about 1940. 1950 was over here, but you do have one right now that you're currently setting at, I think 1950, and then upwards around 2000 in the S&P 500. I have a neutral bias on the S&P 500. On the dollar index coming back into those retracement numbers that we've talked about in the Forex report, waiting for a little bit of a narrow momentum, slowing momentum candle between 38 and 50. On crude oil, I also got a neutral bias on crude oil. Gold came down a little bit today because of what the market was doing. It needed to come down. Still needs to come down even further. We talked about this last week. I would love a retracement on gold between 1162 and 1183. Nothing has changed in that capacity. Silver needs to retrace down just a little bit more before I'm a buyer in that. And the number one tradable instrument in the world the euro got beat up today, and it's now coming down into an old support zone right there at about $1.10. I like the euro here at $1.10 with an upward movement in price, but you want to wait till the bank opens up later on tonight. This is Matt Justice for Tackle Trading, bringing you a market recap video for Monday, February 22nd. Get in the game one trade at a time over there at tackletrading.com.
Get off the sidelines and take control of your financial future at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.